This is my colleague Tim Dortmund, who went to Milan and had so much to do that we said, I'm coming and doing the talk with Anna Alex. Hi, Anna, how are you?
Good.
Just arrived.
Yes.
All right.
Just in time.
It's your home base anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It's close.
All right. Yeah, so I'm from Textilwirtschaft, which is for English language, English speakers, quite difficult to say. It's a magazine, but we do have a newsletter, which is called thespin.com. So that's at least something. Anna, we're of course what we're going to talk about is artificial intelligence. Sometimes I feel I have already enough with the biological intelligence to do with the biological intelligence. But you had a very nice and very kind of interesting project with socks and artificial intelligence. So just tell me about it. How it went? How did you get the idea?
Okay. So we at Outfittery actually thought, I mean, there's a lot of talks around artificial intelligence and like human intelligence and so on. And we thought, maybe we should just make up a small experiment and where we let run the artificial intelligence against the human intelligence. So what we did is we created 2 pairs of socks. One was designed by an algorithm and the other one was designed by a stylist. And we let our customers choose which one they liked more. So we started this in the beginning of December and let it run through the whole December. And just like literally 10 minutes ago, I got the results from our business intelligence team.
Let's keep the momentum right now.
Yeah,
Let's keep the momentum. It will be in a minute. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. I would be as well curious to like what your guess is.
That's right.
If the artificial intelligence won or the human intelligence. So who's for human intelligence?
What do you think? Is the human intelligence one?
Oh. Okay. And artificial intelligence?
Whoa.
Whoa.
All right.
The belief is much greater already now in artificial intelligence and human intelligence.
Just before, let's keep the momentum right now. But just before you tell us that, the results, how come you had the idea of doing that, and how do you let an algorithm do a sock?
Yeah. So we at Outfittery already for years now are trying to combine the human intelligence with artificial intelligence and actually find the perfect intersection, the perfect collaboration between these two. So for us, it was very close. We had the idea, right, to put it into practice. So there are a lot of other features. The socks experiment was just a small funny thing we did, but as well in our daily life, we are supporting our 150 stylists a lot via artificial intelligence and via the tools in our data team. So yeah, our data scientists and our fashion stylists are working super closely together at Outfittery.
Maybe this is the moment when we should talk a little bit about Outfittery and just explain a little bit how your business goes and what you actually do. Can you do that just?
Okay, of course. I just do.
Just for the one, or I think it's 1 or 2 people here that don't know.
Very
all the other ones know.
Okay. So at Outfittery, we made it our mission to provide the most relevant fashion to men currently only, by providing them with a personal shopper and do the whole service and the whole rest for the man, for our customers. So the customer comes to our website, signs up, gives us some data, and then get matched to a stylist, and the stylist is then putting together 2 to 3 outfits most of the time, and it's sending to our customer doorstep. And so what is very visible for the customer is interaction with the stylist, but what we do in the background is heavily supporting the stylist via tech and data science.
Right. So, and you mentioned that it's all about data then. It's all about data mining and getting the right results out of the data. How do you do that?
Exactly. So for us, what we do over this approach is actually, first, we collect a lot of data because the customers can as well choose to be on the phone with a stylist. And in this phone call, for example, we get a lot of unstructured data. So while like an online shop, of course, has transactional data, like okay, where was it shipped, when was it returned, and so on, things like this. So these are data that almost every like e-commerce shop has these days, right? But data that we get is, for example, the customer is telling me on the phone that he has a dog, and that's relevant information for the stylist because then she needs to pick items that he can wear in every weather when he needs to go out, right? Or the customer is telling us that he's doing a lot of sports and playing a lot of soccer. So then the stylist would probably pick some trousers that might be a little wider at the legs because they have probably quite strong legs, right? Think like this. So this is super, super relevant data that we get and that the stylist is putting from unstructured data in structured data. And with these structured data, our data science then can work.
So the real magic is doing it in a structured way and to know what you need and your stylist need to do the job.
Exactly.
All right, which is tricky.
Which is tricky.
So how long have you been working with this system and then with?
So actually, we're working with data science for almost 4 years now.
All right.
So quite long, and before.
It's a pioneer, I would say.
Yeah, probably we were, right? And so absolutely before it was like a hype to employ some data scientists. We started with this, and it is still a topic which needs a lot of research and development because the whole topic around fashion is a super personal and super emotional topic. So it's not so easy for the data to really support the stylist in the best way. And that's why, as well, we believe in the whole equation, machine and human. At least when it comes to fashion, the human will play a huge role over the next 10 years at least, let's say.
I think this is the moment when maybe we should finally tell people who won, because I'm really curious about it. I think everybody's curious about it. I mean, from the on side, you have stylists doing a design for socks, men's socks. Which are not always that creative, but this one was really nice. And on the other side, you put a lot of data into the machine, and then the machine let the algorithm do it. And there come two products, and then it's really a battle, wasn't it? It was a battle.
It was, yeah.
Between
man
and machine.
We purely let our customers decide.
All right.
So the wisdom of the crowd, kind of.
All right. So a vote was a sock that was bought, or how?
Yeah, it was like who was sold better. So right? In the end, it's about sales.
So this was a real turnover then with the sock.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, come on. Just tell us. How did it work? How did it go out?
So I'm sorry to say, it's the human.
Whoa, the human!
But it was very close.
It was very close.
Yeah, so it's 56% versus 44. So it's it was very close.
But still, humans are still
still in the lead. Still in the lead.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't have the socks with me is a problem. Yeah.
I'm sure we can see it on your site.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
or just,
just Google data socks. You will probably see it. We've been covered.
Data socks. That's what
data socks.
That's what
the project was called.
All right. Yeah, that's right. Mine are quite boring actually right now. All right. So what with this result? Does it really mean anything, or is it just a game for you to play?
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, this was just a game, a small experiment, but like the other things that we do quite like serious, and we really mean it serious. So maybe I can give some examples where in our whole process we use artificial intelligence. So for you to get some like take-home value. So for example, if the customer is coming to the site, then you are matched to a stylist. This is the first part where data and artificial intelligence is playing a role, because like the matching, kind of like Tinder matching, right? It's not right, but like which stylist could go well with which profile of a customer. This is the first point.
So just let me understand this. When a customer comes to your site, it's the kind they kind of have to answer a few questions, and then you see, okay, it could be that stylist and not this one.
Right, so we do
More or
this
less.
in a background, and we collect and select the stylist which is best for you, for your profile, for
All
your
right.
style profile.
So it
So
begins
if
in
you
a
are a
very early
sporty guy,
stage.
for example, and we have a
Right.
stylist which is more like better on the sports side and with sports where
Right.
we would match these two, have a higher probability to go together. So this is the first thing. Then we are working with over 100 brands. So what we do is we are shrinking down the catalog and making some recommendations in the items catalog to our stylist, which could be a perfect item for this customer. What we never do is we never shrink it down to actually this is the perfect outfit for the customer, simply because we can't do this with data science only, right? Because this is really the moment where we need human intelligence. We need the stylist to envision how the look of the customer could be and to add her inspiration and creativity to the whole equation. So this is another part where we use it. Or another feature where we use image recognition, which is as well an AI mechanism, kind of, is when a lot of customers are coming to us and say, I love these trousers. I just want to have the same trousers again. So very male shopping behavior, right? And then oftentimes, like the item number is changed, and it's another season. It's already 2 years ago that the customer bought this, and so on. So what do we do then? We use image recognition and have a look at the item that you wanted to have again, and then pick for our stylist, making her a suggestion, which is the closest item in our whole assortment.
So do they send a picture in?
To this.
They send in a picture?
We have the picture of the customer, what he kept, right? So if he bought it with us. If
Yeah,
if you
sure.
have,
Of course.
so this is a nice lock-in effect for the customer. If he then stays with us over time, we get better and better over time, actually. And overall, I mean, so things like these are examples for what we at Outfittery overall call the data flywheel. And the data flywheel is an inherent mechanism which makes our whole business model
sounds fantastic, by the way.
more efficient and more successful. So the idea behind it is actually, if you, for example, Uber has maybe not such a good example anymore, but Uber has a flywheel as well. For them, it's having more customers, then having more drivers, having a higher availability in the street, meaning having more customers, more drivers, and so on and so forth. So it's an upward spine in that sense. And for us, the answer to the question how we get better over time and with more customers is really data. So for us, it's we're getting more customers, we're getting more data, and over features, as I just described, we are improving the service experience for the customer by this getting more customers, getting more data, and so on and so forth. So this is our data flywheel.
All right, sounds very sensible, actually. And if you can do it, I think that's a trick, but you're doing the trick very well. Does it help that you have men? As you said, this is a typical male habit. Does it help that you have men as let's say, a homogeneous target group, or do you think it would be the same with women? Because women are kind of more complicated as fashion is concerned, isn't it?
That might be. So I actually very much like our target group of men. I wouldn't call them homogeneous. That's for sure not the case.
That's true.
But men are a kind of loyal
Let's look around.
group.
So many
yeah.
heterogeneous.
Absolutely, especially here. So men are a very loyal target group when it comes to brands. So why change? If they found a solution for themselves, right? Why change? Well, women like to more explore new brands every month or so. So we very much like that. Plus, I'd say the assortment on the menswear side is a little bit more classical and a little bit more stable, maybe. So the trends aren't that high, but we are as well. So we are not serving like super trendy stuff, but more a little bit more conservative on that style.
So,
but I mean, so I think it can work for women as well. But men are a great target group, absolutely.
I'm sure. So how many people are actually working with AI, artificial intelligence, at Outfittery? How many are they?
We have 30 people working on this.
30 people working on that. So they're data.
Well, on the other hand, we have 150 stylists.
All right. So it's data scientists and so on that working all the time on the logarithm.
Exactly.
Do you do it by yourself? Do you have other companies doing it, or
We do it all by ourselves
oh
because
right?
there are no
There
like
are no, isn't it?
there are no
Yeah.
out-of-the-box solutions for data science. It's like such a new field, and I mean there are some who are promising that, but then when you get down to the really detail, it doesn't fit well, and definitely not our needs.
Sure. I think that's a problem. Still, it's still early days, I think, and people are experimenting a lot. Well, at least when you're a pioneer, you have your solution, you have more experience, so you obviously profit from that.
Yeah.
What do you foresee in the future? Where is this going? Where is this taking us? You know, I was talking the other day with Zalando, with Moritz Hahn from Zalando. He was saying, "Well, we're not a retailer anymore. We're a tech company because we're investing so much in this technology in order to do our business,
Yeah.
right?" So, what do you think? How do you think is the fashion business going to be changed by this?
Yeah. So I definitely think it's going much more over the next years into the direction of convenience. So making it easier and easier for the customers to order.
Is it going to be boring?
Voice.
Is it going to be boring? Sorry, a little bit because it's a convenient. Convenience.
I don't think so actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be boring. I think it will be very exciting.
All right.
To be honest.
Sorry, interrupt you.
So
Go
going
ahead.
into the direction of voice and ordering via voice, right? So this will going to be huge, which actually let you not like use a catalog anymore. It might be that the customers do not see what they order, but they just describe what they want, right?
Alexa, I need,
Alexa in that phase.
whatever.
So having like thinking about the intelligent wardrobe, which knows when you're out of socks and orders you some socks, or which recommends your items that go well with this piece that you just put on. So things like this, I absolutely believe that. And I believe as well it will go much into the direction of like intelligent clothes. So clothes that can track your behavior and your well-being, your health, and so on. So getting much smarter on this and getting like the Internet of Things into your clothes, actually.
Was a lot of things for the future. How do you foresee your business? How is this going to affect your business? How is it going to be in 5 years? Are you still going to have stylists, or are you going to have bots, or a mixture of it?
I mean, so as we see it now today, we will have stylists even in 5 years. But probably data, we will have much more data. Data will play an even bigger role. But yeah, as I said, actually, I believe in fashion. Since it is a very emotional topic, the human creativity is needed, will be needed for a long time.
Well, thank you for having us here. Thank you, Anna, for explaining so much. It was really fascinating, I think. And thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.